So this is the log that I've picked out. I'm going to try and do a one-eyed pumpkin. So just got his eye, mouth drawn on, and then I'm thinking some sort of like little horns coming out. But they're going to be the stem, but one eye, two stems. So yeah, see what I can do with this. So these first cuts are just separate the stems, and my thinking is it's got one eye, the pumpkin's got one eye, so it's going to have two stems. And then rather than keep cutting away there, just got the hammer and chisel out just to finish the last little hinge of wood that was left. And now I'm just trying to get the shape of what like the actual pumpkin, where it's going to start rounding over. So this is what I'm doing again here, making the pumpkin round. So you know where the top of it's going to be, and the bottom start of the horns are going to be stems. I'm using my 251C Stihl chainsaw, Stihl 251C, that I've put the stock bar and chain off the MS170 on there. So the bar, the MS170 that I put the carving bar on, I just took the stock bar and chain and sprocket out of that, and then put the bar and chain onto the 251C. But I didn't have to change the sprocket or anything in this saw to put that bar and chain on. But I'm thinking I need a bigger bar so I can cut all the way through the wood without having to make two cuts. And I've got that Titan chainsaw that I got from Screwfix, but I don't like it. The width for the chain on it looks like about an inch. But I'm exaggerating, but it's huge. It's dead heavy. Horrible to use. Just giving the stem horns, like rounding them over like a bull nose, so they look like more natural how they'd grow, you know what I mean, with like a curve in the branch that's coming out, and just taking away the wood from underneath the horn, going around making the pumpkin round over height equal all the way around, and then and then just working my way in, taking wedges out to get the horns separated from the pumpkin, the top of the pumpkins if it's like growing out and that. I got the idea or inspiration to do this. I was watching Ryan Cook's video on how to carve a pumpkin from wood and that, and he did a Cyclops one, so that's where I've got the idea from. I've sort of made it my own, but yeah, that's where I got the inspiration from. And there's going to be a Cyclops pumpkin with two stork horns growing out of him, one eye, teeth, vampire teeth. And it took me a while to figure out, get the round over on the horns right and that. First time doing anything, just take your time. Obviously this is the first time I've ever done a pumpkin. I think this is carving number 14th one that I've carved now. And if anyone thinks it would be better if I just muted the sound of the saw whilst I'm doing a voiceover, or any suggestions on what videos you'd like to see, and or I could make the videos more interesting, or I need to take my time and explain more on this. And I just watch a lot of Ryan Cook videos, and then watch him a couple of times. Like the one he made of this whole video, it's all done and everything in about 20 minutes. Obviously it took me probably about 2 hours fiddling around with it, hour and a half, something like that. But yeah, drop me a comment. I think you should mute the saw noise, not make the videos so long and just show you smaller parts of this, or the sanding's boring and you don't need, you know what I mean. Any suggestions welcome, drop me a comment. And obviously if you like the video and that, give it a like, thumbs up and subscribe. We've got the M.S 170 with the dime tip carving bar on there. Obviously I had to change the sprocket, 1/4 inch sprocket, and the bar from this one is what I put on 251C. So finally got the horn stalks into a shape that I want. And I watched obviously Ryan Cook's video, and his eye's different to mine, like, but yeah, I got the general idea to have a go at it from watching his, and I thought I'd do something a bit similar to that, but obviously my own little twist on it. My teeth are nowhere near as good as the teeth he did, but I still like how it's turned out. But yeah, I watched Jordy Johnson, he's done a video on a lantern. I reckon I'm going to have a go at doing a jack-o'-lantern next. And not buy the little tiny lights that he didn't like, that didn't light it up enough. I'll buy them light pucks. I'm going to get some of them and see what a jack-o'-lantern looks like. See how that turns out after. Obviously Halloween's not far away now. What date we're on now? 23rd of October, so a week or something before Halloween. Might get a few more pumpkins, jack-o'-lanterns and ghost videos made. There's my eye coming on. So this is just in 2 times speed, so it's not normal speed, but you can see, keep the saw straight, true to your line, and then I'm just making the teeth look like they're coming out of a gum, and then a bit sharper, a bit more pointy at the tip of the teeth, and then just making the space between them. It's like a, what's it say, routing that out sort of thing with the end of the chainsaw. So you're just using the tip of your bar as a router to get all the space between the teeth routed out, whittled away. It's coming on, getting there. So far on the Cyclops pumpkin with little horns. What I'm doing now is just putting the lips on his mouth and just the dimples in his cheek from where it, like his face muscles are creased up from smiling. Just making that lip stick out all the way around. Just try and take your time and have as much control over your saw as possible, so it's easier to sand and just easier to clean up and get ready, prepare for paint. And yeah, just take your time, take a little bit off at a time, like I did with the horns. They took ages to do, but I just kept taking little bits off. But if I took a big chunk out, then I'd have regretted it, because if it had been a mistake. And so yeah, take out little bits, little wedges at a time, and just control your saw. Get your workpiece at a comfortable height, so you've got control of your saw as well. So if you've got a jack buzzing, if you haven't, what I did before I had a jack was I had a workmate, I had work surface, and I had a stool. The stool was dead low that I could put it on. The workmate was a bit higher, and then the work surface was a bit higher than the workmate, so I could change it and still hold the chainsaw without the motorbike jack at different levels. So just get a comfortable height. And there you go, just making the mouth have lips giving the crease around the edge of his lips there, so it looks a bit like he's got cheeks. And then I just go over everything, because I didn't do perfect cuts with the saw, going over back over it all with a sander just to make it all smooth, ready for paint. So it's like, if this bit's long and boring and everyone knows how to do sanding or doesn't want to watch any more sanding because it's the most boring part for me, I don't know about you, but when it comes to sanding, that's what I'm like. Yay, let's get the sanding on the go. Mask on, goggles on, proper vibrate grinder in your hand for ages, in your arm. So yeah, I don't know if anyone, and at the minute I've got a 120 grit on there for on the lips. This is 120 grit on the disc, so making like texture on the stalks and burning it into the wood so it's a different colour, dark in there straight away. And there you go, most of it's sanded and smoothed over and how it's going to be before I put paint on it and burn it. And what I did there with the grinder is like, so say you're using your Dremel 125 bit that burns, if you hold on, keep continuing pressure on it, it'll burn the wood as you're carving it out with the Dremel 125 bit and leave it burnt. So it's the same with the grinder and the backing pad with the disc on it. You have to keep continuous pressure on it for it to burn it, otherwise it'll just sand it and not be burnt. That makes sense. So now I've just got the blowtorch out, all the lines, so the creases in his lips, around the eyes, whatever parts are going to be deeper and need to look like shadowed, or it's the separation in the each pumpkin segment, accent lines, burning all them in. So, and it's also sanding it in there at the same time, and I'm just going to go over it once I've burnt it all with a nylon brush on my drill. I've got two of them now. I've got one like big circumference on it to get into deeper gaps, and then one you can replace the nylon brushes in it. It's a bit smaller, but it's more powerful. It's like a smaller circle, so it spins faster. I'm going to try and put it in my drill, but I've got an S.T.S drill. I don't know why I've never used it. I should have just got a normal drill. You can see if we can get a S.T.S drill extension to hold a normal drill bit or impact drill bit in it, so I can sand from a distance, a nylon brush from a distance. Cyclops pumpkin. Just burnt all the accent lines so they stand out. So I've just used some acrylic paint there. I've put a base coat of white on his eye. I ended up doing 2 coats of white on his eyes and his teeth. And then all of it's acrylic, so green acrylic, orange acrylic, white acrylic. So I'm ready to put the veins on. So that's the pumpkin finished. It's had its acrylic on there. So the green, orange, white, purple, black and red is all with acrylic. Just hand painted on. And then I've put a coat of Wilco Yacht Varnish Satin on there. And this is the paints that I use. So all these ones, I think I got about 14 colours for like £12.99 from the range, and then for £4.99 I got 2 of them little plastic paint trays in this set here with all these brushes. So yeah, if you enjoyed the video, give it a like. If you're not subscribed yet, subscribe. Appreciate it. And then I reckon I'm going to try and do a jack-o'-lantern next, or a ghost, seeing as it's almost Halloween. Trick or treat, subscribe.